Hey Reddit. When did the popular kid's life fall apart in a few seconds? Subscribe to support the channel. And share how you became unpopular in the comments. Lost control of his car when he and his best friend were driving to Taco Bell at night. He came out of it with a fractured collarbone. His friend died on the spot. He was really close with his friend's parents too, and vice versa. He made a few posts on Facebook on how he was an idiot and how sorry he was. The dead friend's sister and parents made it very clear that they didn't blame him. It was winter, black ice, and he was 100% sober. Before he was, like, a stereotypical popular dude but in the wholesome way. Dropped out of school and became addicted to painkillers. Don't know what happened to him afterwards, but it was just sad for everyone. These are the ones that hurt the most because the person who lived was 100% not at fault for it, but they can't come to terms with that fact and put it all on themselves. One girl during high school years was walking with her BF in her neighborhood when a guy driving a bit too fast clipped her and killed her on impact, and the BF was perfectly fine. The BF couldn't live with that and got hard into drugs after that. It was rough to see. When he had an affair with his best friend's mom, dad died a few years before and they got caught, so the mom got arrested for sex with a minor. The friend had to go live with other family with her younger siblings. Shiz. That would fucking suck. His reputation was ruined while attempting at your mom joke. His dad died. It was really shizzy. Before that he was popular. But also smart. Motivated. A great athlete and actually a great guy and person. As much as you can be till you're 15. Then his dad died right before he was going to have a football game. Heart attack in the shower before they were gonna leave for it. We heard about it later. And basically, from there, everything seemed to decline. He became angry, as you could expect. And I think looking back you'd expect a decline in everything at first. But he just spiraled deeper and deeper. We didn't see him for a while. When I did catch up with him later in high school, he'd been so into drugs his brain literally seemed fried. It was sad for every reason. This kicked me in the ass. My twin sons are pretty popular in school. We just found out that my cancer is growing again. I'm 33. I'm not ready to die. My boys are 9. They're not ready for me to die. I can only hope we make the best of however much time we have left together. The thing about living, the thing about life, it's doubt, and it's pain, and it's struggle and strife. It's bearing the bad times. It's riding the rough. It's knowing you tried, but it wasn't enough. It's waking at night, with the thought in your mind, that all you were planning, is always behind, that all you were growing, is dying or dead, that all you were dreaming, is all in your head. You hope in your heart that you'll start to succeed. You hope and you hope that you'll get what you need. You hope that you'll find that it's fine, and it's fair. The thing about life is it just doesn't care. Her mom was diagnosed with dozens of brain tumors the beginning of our senior year. And died before Christmas. Girl went from stable, well off and beautiful to a wreck. Then off the map. After that, we lost 4 students violently. Including 2 sisters stabbed by the stepdad. Staff quit. Pretty much no one in our senior class made it in life. Suicides followed graduation. 1999 was a really tough year for our school. What happened to the 2 other students? One kid on school was popular only because he liked to start shiz and bully everyone. So most people were friends with him just to avoid being a victim. One day he tried that on the wrong kid. Got beat up so bad to the point he started crying. Honestly, I think it was a win for the bully because it gave him a pretty good wake-up call. Became less of a bully and is now quite humble. Yeah, most people who talk a lot of shiz never had the shiz kicked out of them. Usually after they get their ass beat, they realize they ain't shiz and become nicer people. Got hit by a car. Went from bully to paraplegic. She was a bully. Nothing good to say about her. But that is a rough end. And that's how Regina George died. This happened when I was in junior high to this girl. She wasn't paraplegic, but she had brain damage and lost her fucking mind. She suddenly had some huge cognitive deficits, no social skills, and was unable to complete elementary school work. But her parents insisted she return to the same school she went to before the accident. Back in 7th grade, one hated the shiz out of her. She was annoying, mean, and physically violent. She still is more than a decade later. But now, looking back, I can't even imagine the horror show that is her life now. Imagine knowing all of your friends still, but having them basically abandon you and not really understanding why. Imagine being mid-puberty and having your entire perception of life destroyed. I kind of wish I could chat with her nowadays. Peace, M. He ended up becoming a 2nd grade teacher and molested little girls in his class. Now he's in prison for an incredibly long time. As a male 2nd grade teacher. What the actual frick? 3 popular kids went swimming in a quarry. Only 2 came out. It sucks because the one that died was popular for all the right reasons. He was a genuinely good dude. I was the weird kid. But his locker was right next to mine and he was friendly every single day to every single person. Something similar like this happened recently to a few guys that go to my old high school. It was like 1 a.m. They went swimming in the local river that goes through town and one of the guys drowned. He was nice and friendly, but not popular since it was a really big school. His friends allegedly planned his death, but there were no punishments for them. Rumor went around that his parents paid a hefty amount to ignore rape allegations and keep him on the football team. A kid in my high school. He wasn't super popular though. Anyway, his parents paid a girl classmate's college tuition. When he hit and killed a state trooper on the freeway while the trooper was out of his car trying to remove debris from the road. Holy frick. That's such a shizzy way to immediately frick your life up forever. You ruin someone's family. Your own. Have to live with that guilt all because you made a mistake in a split second by accident. No one wins. These types of things are so awful, but I really do feel bad for the guy. Unless he was drunk. Frick drunk drivers. Were there signs? Was he speeding? Had this cliff that was really dangerous. And to keep kids away, the genius locals spread around the rumor that it was haunted. Naturally, the cool kids wanted to go there like all the time. Once the gang of those supposedly cool kids, 4 in total, went there and no one really knows what happened. One kid jumped to his death. The stories of the rest didn't pan out correctly. Each one had a different version. They were high. No one was jailed. But all 3 were depressed and eventually spiraled out of control. One died 2 years later. One was in a car accident. Drunk. And one committed suicide. That cliff is definitely haunted. There is a cliff a few towns over from me that 2 of my mom's distant cousins died on as teenagers. It was a brother and sister and the sister's boyfriend. The boyfriend was driving and they drove up the mountain in the middle of the night. The sister was in the passenger seat and the brother was in the seat behind her, and he got out to take a pee and never came back. The sister got out to look for him and also disappeared. Turns out the boyfriend had parked so close to the edge of the cliff that they both got out of the car and stepped right over the side. One of the most popular girls in my high school had a blood clot that killed her in her sleep in the middle of the school year. I'm not having fun anymore. A blood clot that led to a stroke, heart attack, or pulmonary embolism. He got made fun of because he wanted to wait to have sex with his new GF popular girl, so he caved and did it. Teen pregnancy. I think the term peer pressure gets thrown around a lot like it's some everyday thing you can shrug off. And it very well can be. But then there's cases like this where it can permanently affect or destroy someone's life or reputation. Peer pressure needs to be taken more seriously. I actually ran into one of the super popular kids at the local bar when I came home from college. She would never give me the time of day in high school, and I for sure thought she didn't even know I existed. But she approached me at the bar, super drunk, and said, "Hey, didn't I go to high school with you?" She then proceeded to tell me she wished she had been nicer to more people in high school and that she has no idea what she's doing with her life. Honestly, feels good to know that she's thought about how she treated people back then. Not sure if that's the norm or just a weird occasion. Probably is the norm. Kids are stupid, and in high school it's easy to get high on power or popularity, but after they will tend to realize that life isn't a High School Musical movie. My stepmom was an asshole in high school and still is in some ways. She went to her high school reunion and started talking to a girl she used to make fun of like they were friends. The girl said, "You made my life hell in high school. Why the hell would I want to talk to you?" My stepmom said, "We were just having fun." The girl said, "I wasn't. Maybe you were." Well, a super popular cheerleader girl at my school ended up falling downstairs and broke her back and got paralyzed and has to use a wheelchair ever since. So yes, that is one example answer. Stairs are not a joke. Damn, that one's actually a little heartbreaking. Frick. That is really sad. He was an only child. And his dad had died when he was 2. Was really happy-go-lucky. And he was popular because he was outgoing, supportive, warm and kind to everybody without fail. And although he was friends with the kind of kids who bullied people, he was the first person to tell them to knock that shiz off if he saw it. When we were 16, his mum, who was one of the nicest ladies I ever met in our small town, was crushed to death by a semi-trailer that drifted into her lane. He dropped out of school. He stopped talking to anybody. And he refused to let anyone visit him. I have no idea what became of him. Sorry Jay, I hope your life got better. Stuff like this makes me cry. His parents divorced and he started acting out. He went from good grades and clubs to failing and drugs. Shiz sounds like me. Except I wasn't popular. The stud quarterback about 2 years ahead of me has been narcaned at least half a dozen times. He might be dead now. Not sure if that was a problem for him in high school, but I heard he had a nasty pain pill habit in college and probably transitioned to heroin from there. Narcaned. Sorry, I'm just some stupid 16 years old. What does that mean? Guy on the football team sent her girls nudes to the entire football team and a good portion of people in my grade. Got arrested during class. I haven't seen him since. Was the girl under 18? Distribution of child pornography. He FaceTimed his girlfriend and she screen recorded him putting a baseball bat in his ass. Like, in his ass. That's called an inside the park home run. Did you see the video? In the 5th grade, our terrible teacher at the time told the entire class that the reason the popular kid acted out was because he didn't get enough attention at home. She did this in front of the entire class. And he left the room sobbing. My entire perspective of him changed that day. And we all already knew that the teacher was a terrible person. But that solidified it in all of our minds. There was totally a kid like this at my school. He would always disrupt the class, but I know his mom and stepdad would always go away without him. I think the teachers actually quite liked him though. Even if he was a pain in the ass. I can't imagine him ever doing something like this. I imagine he would have got angry rather than sob though. I know he ended up being homeless for a while, but I think he's okay now. Bit of a goth now though, I've been told. I was not popular. But I had ADHD and used to disrupt class sometimes. And the teacher pulled this shiz on me. Since he really disliked me since I was Russian, and this was in a country that used to be part of the SSSR, and he hated Russians and used to pick on me. And try to embarrass me often. Either way, he pulled the "he didn't get enough attention at home." And half the class was like ooh and thought that he finished me. But something in me told me to act like I did not really notice it. And our otherwise class clown ending roast kind of just got forgotten within a few days. I am very happy that I did not react. And just brushed it off like he just said a dumb boomer joke.